I'd like to talk about a few things today. Number one, if somebody has a simcha in the family, a chasana, a bris, a preaching, a bet, whatever, he has a label. That label is called a Baal Simcha. You're a Baal Simcha. Huh? What does it mean a Baal Simcha? The owner of Simcha. What does that mean, a Baal Simcha? So I heard that since this person is started by Hashem Yisparach to have enjoyment and panoso, or tzlacha, whatever the occasion is, or a wedding, or bris, he is in a position to wish the simcha to other people too. Because he just got that simcha. He's saying, oh, that's like Hashem gave me that simcha. I would like to further continue the simcha to the other people too. So I'm very happy to share with you about an hour and a half ago. My daughter had a baby boy.
Wow, no wonder you look like you're floating up.
Yes, so I can share with everybody. You should all have simchas and success in all your endeavors with us Hashem. And also, it's my anniversary. We got married in like whatever. So again, we should only share
33 years?
No, more. Thank God. So we're going to talk about a chasana also.
Ours is 34.
Oh, may I be yesterday for 120 years. Okay, so then we have to tie it like Bomer. Today is like Bomer. There's a very famous piyut, Shir Bar Yochai. So I made copies of it. So on the first line there it says, "So Torah tzitzim mefachim na'aseh adam ne'eman b'avorecha."
Which line are you reading from?
The top line, second line. Na'aseh adam. Na'aseh adam ne'eman b'avorecha. Hashem said, "We will create man." We mean the malachim. We talked about let's do it. God will be machmikot. That's the drasha there. But at any rate, Hashem's decision to make man was when he looked at Shimei Yuchai. It's such a perfect individual, such a big tzaddik. We're going to make Adam to be in this world. So we can all thank Shimei Yuchai that we're alive, that we're here. If not for him, there would be no such thing as Adam at all. So this is an obvious question. You know, Shimei Yuchai is a very, very great person. Here's a secret. Rav Akiva is his Rebbe. So if Nasa Adam refers to Rav Shimei Yuchai, it certainly goes to Rav Akiva. And the Gemara says about Rav Akiva, Moshe Rabbeinu went up to the Shemayim, and Hashem showed him all the tzaddikim that are going to happen from day one until the end of time. And he saw Rav Akiva was Dorish Kitarim, the crowns and letters, he was Dorish all kinds of drushes. And Moshe Rabbeinu says, oh, let me see what's going on. And Hashem did what you call a fast forward, and put Rav Akiva giving a drasha, and Moshe Rabbeinu was invisible, but he sat in the drasha to hear what the Akiva was saying. He couldn't even follow it. It was above his mind. I can't follow what he's saying. So, what did Moshe Rabbeinu say? Hashem is not. This guy's much greater than me. Let him have the Torah. Why shouldn't you give it to me? Hashem said, wait a minute, listen. So we got into a whole discussion, and then what did the Gemara say? Halacha l'Moshe b'Sinai. We don't know. It's halacha Moshe Rabbeinu fulfilled. Okay, it's halacha Moshe b'Sinai. So therefore, the Torah is given to Moshe Rabbeinu and not to Rav Akiva. But there's so many great Tanoim. The question is, what is the unique feature about Shimei Yuchai? Far be it for me to give that answer, but I'll give you an idea that I heard, and it's really based on the next puzzle. That's in Shir Ashir. Seder Erev No Sion, the daughters of Sion go out. Melech Shlomo, when the king of Shlomo refers to Shmisha Shalom Shalom, that's Hashem. By Torah She'itul Hima, the beautiful crown that he got. Yom Chasunas, the name of his chasana, the name of his wedding. Yom Simchas Lima. What are these 2 days of the chasana and Simchas Lima? Of course, I picked the word Yom Chasunas because it's my anniversary, so that's a sign for it. But at any rate, Chazal tell us in Gemara, Yom Chasunas Yizeu Matat Torah. Hashem gave the Torah to Bnei Yisrael. It's like a wedding, the Simcha B'chas and Kala. Of Yom Simchas Libo, that refers to being in Beis HaMikdash. Shlomo Amel built the Beis HaMikdash, so a special Simcha for Kodesh Baruch Hu, and that's called Simchas Libo. So, the question is, we have an extra sheet. This passage. Yom Chatzunasa refers to Kabbalah Satorah. There are 4 parts of the Torah that we can learn. Pardes. What does Pardes stands for? Orchard. Hey is Pshat. Just learning the words the way they are written, understanding. Second one, Reish. Pardes. Pei, Reish, Dalet, Sama. So first the Reish stands for Pardes, Pshat, Remez. There are all kinds of remezim. They're hints that are not explicit, but you have all kinds of Zabbalah, Torah, goes through all the whole Torah, all the various hints that you have from the Torah. It's not explicit, but it's remezim. Dalet stands for Drush. We have the whole code of the Jewish law. It's all taken from the Torah. You have a drasha that teaches you the dinim. Samach stands for soul. Thank you. There's a secret. There's a secret part of the Torah. It's not revealed to everybody. If the Gemara Chagiga says you're not supposed to give a drasha on this soul and the Kabbalah things. If you have a Talmud who's very great, you think he can handle it, don't tell him everything. Give him little parts of it and he'll try to figure it out on his own. That's the soul. Before Abshim and Yechoy came along, we had 3 parts of Pardes. We had the Pshat, the words, we had the Remez, the Balaturim, the Drashas that we have through the Mazim, through hints, and then you have the Drush. Stop. The soul was kept as a secret. It was hidden, and nobody knew about it. Abshim and Yechoy was one who opened up the doors for the soul. He said the soul was given also, and let the soul be available for the common public. People should have the option to understand the secrets of the Torah. And that's why we have the Zohar, written by Rav Shimon Yochai. He opened up the door for the soul that was never there before. So, yeah.
Are you saying Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know the soul?
He did, but he didn't share it with anybody. That was secret.
So Yeshua didn't know the soul?
That's right. It was the soul, it's the secret. So Shimon Yochai is one who opened the door and let people understand Soda Satorah. So it's like you're opening up a 4th wheel. You had a chariot with 3 wheels and it could stand, but you're missing that 4th wheel. The soul became available and was known to the common people thanks to Shimon Yochai. I went up to the internet last night. You saw you run hundreds of thousands of people dancing the whole night. Just amazing. What is the simcha about? The simcha of Shimon Yochai that he gave us the 4th part of the Torah. Until Shimon Yochai came along, soul was soul, period. Only very few people knew about it, but that's where it stopped. And he opened the door. So that's Yom Chasunoso. It's the simcha of a wedding. Because the wedding is Kabbalah SaTorah. The Kabbalah SaTorah until Shimon Yochai really had the 3 parts. Pshat, Remez, Drush. Through Shimon Yochai you have the soul part. Therefore, it's called Yom Chasunoso. Now, Rabbi Ehrman Shlita likes it when I say something from Rabbi Schwab. So, to follow your wishes, I will share with you a beautiful word that Rabbi Schwab said at Sheva Brachos, okay, which is relevant to the wedding. He asked the following question. When you have Sheva Brachos, you have an unusual benching. I don't know if you're familiar with that. You say, Devai Oser, you ask Hashem, please take away all kinds of pain and suffering. We got Choron and every anger. There's going to be Yemos HaMashiach. We're waiting for Mashiach to come. There should be no more anger and suffering and pain. Everything should be bliss. The Oz and then Elam B'Shil Yaron. So I wrote down those words. Then the Elam, the person who is mute, will all of a sudden be able to speak. Will have the power of speech. And Yaron who's going to read now is going to sing the Shir with tremendous song. So Rabbi Schwab asked a very simple question. We're talking about suffering should be removed from this world. There should be peace and harmony, tranquility. Beautiful. Then the mute one will sing. Who's the mute one? Who's the one who cannot speak that all of a sudden will be able to speak? Rabbi Schwab said the biggest son here. You know who the Elam is? It's the chassan. The chassan at a wedding is Elam. He's mute. He cannot speak. Why? Excuse me. Imagine, give us a mashal. This happened to my parents. We used to live in Long Beach, New York. Those of you who know the geography of New York. It was a beautiful beach out there. My parents said, okay, let's go swimming. And there was an undertow. And that undertow took them way, way out in the ocean. Just pulled you out and you cannot stop. He can't stand in the ground anymore. My mother went totally hysterical. My father went to tread water. Eventually, they both were saved by the lifeguards. In fact, the lifeguards themselves were being taught out. One lifeguard had to throw the other lifeguard a rope, and he tied another rope. 2 or 3 lifeguards were all tied up with ropes that they should be able to bring back both my parents. And they're sitting on the beach, totally exhausted. And of course, the lifeguard said, "What do you go so far out in the ocean?" I said, "We didn't do that. The undertow pulled us out. We couldn't stop. We had absolutely no control." Now, what do you tell the lifeguard? Yeshikoya, "Thank you for giving me my life." What kind of word is that? How can you say thank you to a person who gave you your life back? Were it not for the lifeguard, Rahman al-Islam, what would happen? So, when a tremendous chesed, kindness, is given to you, you really don't have the abilities to say thank you. Same thing said by a Chos and Kala. The Chos and Kala, when they get married, look at their Torah. Person who is single, he doesn't have tova, he doesn't have goodness. Why? If you have good tidings, if you have nobody to share it with, you have only half of it, because you don't have chaverim, you don't have friends to share it with, you're by yourself. And if chas v'shalom, if there's a tragedy, then the tragedy is doubled, because you have nobody to talk to, that they should minimize the tragedy. And there's no Torah. The learning that you learn as a single person is nothing compared to the Torah that you learn as a married person. You have a body, you have a home, you're a different person. When a person gets married, all of a sudden you have Toma. Whenever there's something good, it's multiplied because you share it with your wife. And chas v'shalom, there's a tragedy, it's halved, because the wife can calm down the sad feelings and make you feel better. And likewise, Torah, your learning is at a much higher level. You have an Eishes Chal, she tells you go ahead and learn, she helps you, and so forth. So you have Torah, you have Tova, you have Chaim, so you have a whole new dimension of your life because you got married. So how are you going to tell your wife, "Thank you for accepting my offer to be my colleague"? Thank you, I'm very grateful. There are no words that you can speak that really convey your true appreciation. But for us, the Mashiach will come, and there'll be no more suffering, and no pain, and there'll be tranquility in the world. Then Hashem will open up the mouths of the Chasadim. They'll be able to share with the Kalas how truly grateful they are. So this is part of the message. Yom Chassidnaso, Day of Matan Torah. We're so grateful. We say it every time we get an Aliyah. People don't even realize what they're saying. They mumble it over the word. They say it fast. We're really different than all the nations of the world because we have the Torah, and as you say every day, the davening, they don't have no concept of true laws. They don't have the dinim, and they don't know what's the right way to do things. So we have the Torah, Yom Chassidnaso, and then we have Ilan B'Shiyar, to be able to thank Hashem Yisbarach the great gift He has given us, that we have the Torah. So that has to do with Gomer, Chassidnaso, and Hashem Yirchoi, because he opened up that 4th dimension of the Torah, and it's a new Kabbalah Torah, and that's what we're dancing the whole night on the Kabbalah Torah that we have, and that's Yom Chassidnaso. Okay, so that's the connection with Lag Bomer, Hashem Yirchoi, and the Chassid. Now, I'd like to say something about the Parsha.
Tying the knot.
Good now, literally, and go for you. Very good, thank you. Okay, so now I'd like to continue about this with Parshas Bahar. So I photocopied 2 pages here. The beginning of the Parsha says, the produce of the land should be for eating. Now, there are 2 types of produce. One comes from trees, apples, pears. You don't do anything. The trees give the fruits automatically. Right? But there's another type of produce, grain, barley, wheat, corn. You have to plant it. You don't plant it, you can't have that. But it's possible in Shemitah that you did not plant it and yet you'll still get wheat, barley, corn. How's it possible? How can you get any grains if you never planted it?
Seeds flow.
Oh, so the answer is very simple. When you harvested last year's crop, some seeds fall on the ground. And these seeds that fell off, they start growing on their own. So you never really planted it on Shemitah, but still you have it. So you can still, it's called Sefiche. Shemitah said means things that have to be planted, but they will still grow on their own. So the Torah tells you all the fruits of the tree and all the grains that come because of you have the leftover seeds that were left on the ground from last year's harvest. La'achla should be eaten by l'chol, by you, l'avdecha, to your servant, l'avdecha, and to your maidservant. These people are hired help, so shavcha going up, you'll live here. Human consumption, that's what it's supposed to be done for. So our sages taught us, la'achla v'lo l'schor. You ought to take all this fruit and enjoy it, but you cannot make a business out of it. I teach marketing. What's the key in marketing? That you buy stuff when it's very cheap and you sell it when it's very expensive. So, Shemitah, I can get all the fruits I want, don't cost me a penny. I just go to a tree and just take off the fruits. And then I go to another place where they don't have these fruits and I'll sell it. I'll make a lot of money. So there's a good incentive here, unfortunately, to violate this din of la'achla. So Chazal told us you're not allowed to do that. It's la'achla v'lo l'schora. There's an issur to do business on fruits of Shemitah. Now, the Torah never said a law, don't do business. If somebody were to do business, there's two witnesses and they warned him, you're over, you'll never get malchus. Why? Because this is called the lav abor bichlal aseh. The Torah says eat it. We do learn from that, we derive l'achla v'lo l'schora, don't do business. But clearly, it's not a real lav. So we call that a minor lav, like it's not a type of lav that you go and eat chazir, let's say, that a bas v'chol. Then the Torah explicitly prohibits it. If you violate the prohibition, you get malchus for that. Here it's just an inference from the word la'achla. If somebody decides that he wants to make business anyway. So Rashi, at the end of the parsha, tells you the disasters that happened. I underlined it. Can you see it? It's very bottom left part of the handout. I'm going to read it with you. Okay? So, Parshas Eilu Nem Ala Seder. The sequence of events of this parsha, Bahar, have a meaning to it. It's Chilayizer Ala Shviyas. The Torah tells you don't do business on Shemitah. But he wants to make money, and as I said, as a marketing man, you can make tons of money on Shemitah. Take all the fruits and vegetables you want, won't cost you anything. Your costs are zero, and your revenue is pure 100% revenue. And you say, I'm going to make money on Shemitah. Sofa limkar metalpo. Step one, you're going to sell your personal possessions. Says if you're going to sell something, it's the next parsha. Maxi Mary says, you're going to buy. So we talk about metalpo, things that are movable. You're going to sell your metalpo, things that are movable. Lo Chazri did not do teshuvah, so you're going to sell your land that you got in inheritance. The Chazabah didn't do teshuvah, that you keep making money with Shemitah. So Merchas Beiso, then you're going to sell your house. The Chazabah, you don't sell, stop that. Sell a love of previous, you start borrowing money with interest. Each event that you're going to do is worse than the previous one. The Chazabah, if you keep on doing it, self-mochers, ask to sell yourself. The Chazabah, and if you continue doing the Isar Shemitah, you'll die in Israel. Not only will you sell yourself to another Jew, and fill enough, you'll sell yourself to a guy. This is the lowest thing that can happen. So the Torah is telling you, if you become very anxious and trying to earn money quickly, avarice, and you're trying to be rich in an easy way, but in a way that's prohibited, even though it's a minor prohibition, everything is going to go downhill. The Gemara says if you're willing to borrow with ribbis, you sell your daughter first, because when you sell your daughter, every successive year it'll cost you less to redeem her. But if you borrow with interest, every successive year you have to pay more and more and more to pay for the interest. So clearly these are going to be bad things. I want to conclude on a positive note. That's the Parshas Kiseitze. There it says Yatzid. Again, the sequence is very good and very important. Kiseitze, it says, if you did Shloch HaKen, you have a bird sitting on eggs and you chase away the bird and keep the eggs for yourself. Big deal. What kind of effort is that? Just chase away the birds. But it says that if you do that, Manita things will be good for you. And then it says, Kisim Nebayis Chodosh, you build up a new house, Because he said, you have to make a fence so people shouldn't fall off that roof. So you're building a house. What comes after that? You have a vineyard. Don't play climb. So you have first a house, then you have a vineyard, then you have you have a big field that you want to plow. Don't use Shevach Hamor. Like still by Shatnez, have very expensive clothing because it's Shatnez. The deal to make scissors. So everything goes on the positive. So that's the message of this week's parsha. Be positive. Because if you do the right things, Hashem will bless you and everything will continue to be better for you. And Chas v'Shalom, you decide, I'm going to find a shortcut. I'm going to find a cheap way to make money quickly. I'll do business with fruits and vegetables or shmita. It won't cost me anything. And whatever I sell is net profit. That's a quick way to make money. No way. Because then things will go downhill and you'll be very unfortunate that you made that wrong decision. Hashem should guide us. We should do the right thing with us, Hashem. And thank you for the opportunity to say that. Baruch to you.
Yeah.